and welcome to my channel. Today's video is the first in a series for this month. I am taking part in the 10 days of Bits and Pieces challenge. It's run by Inky Mia and Hilltop View Journals. You can find them both on Instagram, which is where I saw this and thought, oh, I like the idea of it. The idea is that there will be 10 different prompts, if you like. Each one is like for 3 days, so it's not a kind of super, one day this, one day this. So each prompt is for 3 days, and obviously you can dip in and out as you want. But it's all about stash building, but also using up things in your stash to make other things, if that makes sense. Hopefully it will. So the first one, I know we're on the 3rd of October, so this is the end of the first 3 days. The thing for this one is tape. Now, I've never even thought about making my own tape or how you do it. So I've had a little bit of a research. In fact, for a lot of them, I think I'm going to need to do a little bit of research. So this is tape. I have been through my stash and I've got, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ways in which I can see might be able to make some tape. So I will just briefly go through each one and how I'm thinking it's going to work. It might not work, we'll see by the end, but this is how I'm going to do it. So this is masking tape, and this is paper tape that you use when you're if you do watercolors and you want to stretch your paper so you make it completely wet, you put it on a board and then you use this tape to hold it in place. So this is sticky backed. My intention with this is I'm going to stamp on it with VersaFine, because then VersaFine is waterproof, so then it can be, gone over in your thing. So that's the first one. The reason I got this is an old piece of Mylar. I have some still around, because this one's fine because it doesn't stick to anything. But obviously, if you're going to unroll this, it's going to be sticky. So my intention is to stick pieces to the Mylar, keep them on the Mylar until I'm ready to use them and stamp on them there. So that's number 1. Number 2 is one that I literally saw this morning, and it was Inky Mia. And this is, well, she used Scotch matte tape, I think. I haven't got that, but what I've got this is some tape that is supposed to be very low tack tape, but it's not. It's not as low tack as I prefer. I use the Scotch low tack tape. This one is not. But this one is just using the tack on this tape, and it's because it's you can see through it. It takes the surface off of vintage papers, and well, I'll show you because I tried it out like that. That's what you end up with. And then obviously you're going to need to use a glue on the back, but that's fine too. So that's the second technique. The third and fourth, and even I suppose the 5th one, are all similar in the way well, actually these 2 are more similar. Let's do these 2 first. So this is double-sided tape. I stopped using double-sided tape a long time ago, but as most crafters do, we always buy in bulk and stash, and so I've still got quite a bit. So I've got 3 different widths, and the idea of this is you stick this. I haven't quite thought it out in my head yet, but you would stick this to the paper, or stick the paper to one side of this and then use the other side to stick it on, if that makes sense. Well, I'll show you. And this is similar, but with this one I thought, particularly with this large sheet, I could do a bit of a collage and then cut it into strips. This stuff I have had, I don't know how long in my stash, and I thought that's perfect because it's got the squares where I can see where to cut, and again some offcuts. So those 2 are similar. This one, I had some washi sheets that I bought with ephemera on, and you had to fussy cut them. So I thought, well, do you know what? I'm going to keep the strips, and we'll try a similar technique to this, but with this. So this is kind of washi thickness, so you can see through it. But we'll see. We're going to see. I may not show all the video. I may speed things up, cut things in and out because there's quite a lot to go to do and get through. But we'll see. Well, just going to have a play, which I think, if I can get some tape to use in my journals out of these, then all are good. This one, I may even do some of that technique as well. I don't know. I'm a little bit, it's playing. I'm going to be playing today. And we will see where we're going to go. So I think I'm going to start with the stamping. Right, so let's start with the masking tape. And I think what I'm going to do is I am going, oh, if I can get it off the roll. I have no idea if any of this is going to be successful or not. It's a bit of a messy edge there, so let's get rid of that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to put pieces on that are just a bit longer than that, and then I can cut them at the end, but I'm going to leave a gap. The thing with this is it will still be sticky. This will work, and with it being masking tape, you get that kind of washy effect. So bear with me this much. I'll just to get them. As long as I've got a bit at the end where I can, get my underneath one piece. In a minute, I'm going to cut. In fact, yes, I'm gonna cut them. I'm gonna get quite a few on here, which is good. So I've decided to use VersaFine because it means that what I put on here is going to be waterproof. I will be able to, if I want to, if I'm doing some art journaling, I will be able to put water-based products over the top of it and they won't run. So we'll see how we go. So what have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not bad. Right. I have a particular set of scissors that I use with sticky stuff. I don't like particularly to get my other ones. I do clean these periodically, but they are, as you can see, I don't like gunking my decent scissors. So I keep this pair. Oh, that one's probably going to be a bit. Now the mylar will get covered again because it's waterproof. It won't, I'll be able to do this again on top of this piece of mylar. Nothing's going to sort of I suppose it might pick up a bit from the bottom, but hopefully, yeah. So this is, if this worked well, if this I'd have confidence to say, this is something I think I would do again. Yeah. I've been the list of the 10 challenges is already out. If you go to Inky Mia or Hilltop View Journals on Instagram, you'll be able to get to see the 10. And I must admit, there's some things I was thinking, I don't know. And there is one that is really going to challenge me, I can tell you. But yeah, so I have picked out, as if you're a follower of my channel, you'll probably know that I am an ambassador for Janie's Originals. So I've picked out all my try that again. All my stamps, Janie's Original stamps, to see what I think I might like. I like the idea of the text. And what I think I'm probably going to do is just use it, not try and do individual things, but literally just do blocks on. I think some of these might be a bit. What else? I think that I quite like the idea of those. So at the moment, I've got lace elements, vintage tickets, background text. Don't know, don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna just put those all aside. We're gonna start with. No, I am gonna get some of these. Yeah, I'm already prevaricating. Journal scribbles. These and the scrap and stitches. So I've got probably here loads more than I am going to need. Bear with me while I lean across. I haven't got any of my stamping blocks out. Right, it's a big one. I don't. Do I want? Have I got a small black? Yes, I've got a small black. We'll stick with all my little. This tin is my kind of basic stamping tin. So I keep my stamping blocks. I keep a couple of the colours I use most in Distress. So brown especially, it's a nice dark brown, and Frayed Bellab, which is a lighter one. I do have Perfect Medium. I don't remember the last time I've ever used that. And I do have a Versifying Clear Black. So that's my tin. And if you know me, you know I like tins as well. So a lot of my stuff is in tins. And I love vintage tins, but I doesn't stop me using other tins, but I do like tins. Okay. So I think, as I said, I liked that one. I'm going to start with the background text. Now, what I might do, see, and these are my go-to tin. So this is a tin I'd probably pick up to take away on a thing. So, or vintage sepia. I won't go with a bit of vintage sepia. I might go with what else? That toffee might be nice. I just think I'd like a little bit of colour in it. Crimson red. Do I go Olympia green or Spanish moss? It's still Spanish moss. So still kind of muted colours, but nothing, major. So right, so I'm gonna put this on here. Now I am going to use all the colours. Oh, that's quite bright. That's okay, nice. And it'll just hit the different bits of the tape at different places. Bit of that. Are we all covered? I'm not too bothered. I was just thinking I'm contaminating my inks, but hey, life is too short. Now, anything I will do is I'm going to get some right. What have I got here? You see, I use Mylar. I bought it back when it was, let's all make our own stencils on our die casting machines, and never really worked for me. So I use it for, for mucking things like this. So you see just paint and stuff all over it. So I'm just going to protect my uh, board with that, and hopefully this is still wet. And I'm going to do there. I've probably done it upside down that way. There. Just keep going for a bit. Yeah, I think actually I think I'm going to do this all over and use it as like a background. Let's just have another quick go at that. Let's put some more green on. And some of the red. That's quite nice. Some of the, I don't know, lost track of what I'm using now. Vintage sepia. And when did I use the toffee? Well, we'll go with that. So I'm thinking, what if you can see what I'm doing, I'm just trying to cover most of the tape area with this, and then we'll go over, I think, with some darker ink. Oh, now I'm liking that. Now I'm not great at cleaning my stamps, but I do have a stamp cleaner but I'm not going to do that right now. I'll do it later. Okay, that's good. That's a nice start. I'm liking that. And it's not all over. So that was the really useful range background text. Now, let's look at what's in here. Try and keep all the right bits with the right stamps, otherwise I'm sure get in a mucky mess. As you can see, I don't like cleaning my stamps. We look at this, quite like this one, which is this. Let's find a stamp block that will fit on. Again, you can see I don't like cleaning my stamp blocks either. I'm not a stamper as in, I don't tend to stamp images per se. I like this as well. Where's that? I this is more my stamping for, backgrounds and journals, right? So I might get the black out, I might get the grey out, just give it a bit more definition, but I also like that red. I think it might start with the crimson red on that. I do rather like that. And again, I'm just going over different parts. So we just have different bits of tape with different see, it's not going to be all in one place. You get little bits on different things, which is quite nice. We'll do one more review with a red, I think. Let's go a bit up there. Let's go a bit over here, down there, a bit up there. Just use up the ink. Doesn't matter if it's not particularly dark by the time you finish. You'll have got some impressions off. So I can see where there's still ink, so I'm just having a good push down. There we go. So that one, and where's the other one? What should we go with? I think maybe the toffee. Let's see what the toffee, how dark the toffee comes out in this. It's quite nice. Oh yeah, that's good. We can go with that. But I think it's better to do it so it overlaps, so you don't get a full on, like that was just kind of a bit sitting there. Whoops, it's a daisy. Oh, that's marked the board. Hey ho, never mind. All right, so those two stamps were from the pen to paper range Lace Elements. Like I said, I will tidy up a bit more later. I'm lucky I have a big desk. I can shuffle things away. Right. You see, this is looking. I'm liking that. It's quite subtle, so I don't want to overpower. So I don't think I'm going to use the black. I might try the vintage sepia, and I might go with some of the ferns and fiddleheads. This is another of the pen to paper range. When it's pen to paper range, it means Jamie hand draws them. So what should we go with? Something. See, that's quite nice. Where's that one? It's that one up there. See, I'm not sure I need a great deal more on it. If I do this, okay, what I've just done now is I have managed to rip the backing plastic by not concentrating on what I'm doing. Never mind. I think we'll survive. Right, so we're going to go with the vintage sepia. So this is probably going to be the darkest one that I use. So let's just see what we're doing. Let's go a bit there. Oh, see, that's actually, that's not too in your face, is it? Oh, I like that. That toffee almost, oh, crikey, is, what am I doing? Making a mess. Is brighter than that. And I'm going to try and tone, oh, there we go. That's better. But you see, because I'm going across, you don't get like, you're not going to have it as a massive thing. And again, you know, if you're not like me, you can see I'm very messy. If you're not really a stamper, you know, as in having, you know, great finished images, then you know, this is the perfect sort of thing. Do you know what? I think I'm really happy with that. So I've now got 8 pieces of tape. So when that's dry, it will be water resistant, or it will be, I don't know what the word is. Basically, it won't run with the with water. So brilliant. That's my first one. So that's masking tape. Um, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do similar thing with this tape. I think I might need to use darker uh what's the word? Darker ink, because it is already a brown background. And I don't need to stick this one down, so I might do this in a bit of a different way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spread that out. I'm going to do it on an angle purely because that's the room I've got here. In fact, no, I do it that way. I've got any room. Go that way. Right. I'm just going to use a bit of my low tack tape to hold that down like so. In fact, I am going to do, I'm going to do multiples of these like I did with the other, just because I think that it works better with the stamping. Because you know you're not, let's say, wasting the ink. Just going to lose. What happened is we'll just lose a little bit at the end. You won't get any stamping on that, but you can always cut that bit off. I've got any more. That's 2. I think let's try 4 pieces of this. So you can see where I'm going with this. I probably cut that one way too long. Let's cut that. Yeah. And I'm going to use the same sort of technique here. So I've got, this is the only issue. Well, this, I say, it's the only issue. This I can see is an issue with doing it with this tape, which isn't sticky on the back. It's keeping it flat to tape to stamp it. So let's just do one more bit, and I think that will be enough. Yeah, I'm going to have to go shopping to find a tin for all these bits I'm making. Some of them will fit in tins that I not fit, but they will go in tins because they're things I already do. But some of these things I've never done before. So I don't have I have a tin for my washi, but I don't have a homemade tin. So right, so as I said, I think I'm going to need darker colours for this. So I think I'm going to go with the Onyx Black. We might try this Versifine Purple. See what that looks like. Where's my other tin? I'm wondering if Deep Lagoon, what do you reckon? Well, we can try it. We can but try it. I think, do you know what? I think it might be nice to have like bits of butterfly. Let's try these. Yes, and if, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use a longer uh, oof, a longer block, and I'm going to put multiple stamps on the block, and uh, then do them all at the same time. It'll be quicker. And you know, because I'm in stamps, I can use the different colours. So I could use that there. There's a little bug there that might fit there. Oh, I will go in with other things in a bit. There's a nice moth down there. Let's put that in. Fill in, you know, with maybe some of the the other florals. But as you can see, I'm still having trouble keeping this flat. It's because I'm using 2 pieces of mylar, I think, and it's moving. The mylar is moving. So these keep like 1 minute they're flat, the next they're not. What might be a good idea is just to take my mylar down, stop that moving. And we might be on a winner then. Right, okay, so what we were going for, black. I can see I'm gonna contaminate my things, but I'm not too. Bit of blue. And a bit of purple. Got everything covered everywhere. Right, let's try that. Let's see how we go. Ooh. Nice. I think we might do one more sort of full-on colour. And then we'll go in and add in some other stuff. Try down there. And a bit here. A bit here. So remember, I'm not. Oh, here we go. This, yeah, it's definitely the issue with where you've got something that isn't actually stuck down by itself, with we're holding it down with tape. So this is, I'd say, I'm not as happy with this one. You know, the effect, great. But the process, I think, it's a lot trickier because things are not stuck down. Right. So let's move you to the side. And I mean, maybe if I'd done it with a small, you know, just one, it might have been fine. Let's so that was pen to paper entomology volume 2. Let's go with something else out of the ferns and fiddleheads. Let's go with this one. Let's do this one purple. Oh, yeah, purple. Let's take you off. You are part of this one. I will sort these all out. I usually tend to wait till the end and then have a big tidy up. Right, so I'm going with purple for you. Let's see what we can do there. That looks nice. Nice like that. Again, the stamp is a little bit wider than the tape, so you don't get like the edges. Nice. I'm liking this one. It's very collagey sort of effect with this sort of way of stamping. It might not be your idea, you might look and go, oh my God, that's an absolute mess. But you know, it's what I like this for an art, for a junk journal, an art journal. I think this is great. But then that's me. Right, so I've had one in purple. Let's find something I can do in the blue, and then I think I'm probably going to be happy with that. Oh, which one should we do? I've got another small one that I can do in the blue. I'm making. Oh, let's go with that one. It's just a nice little one, nice little accent one. In blue. Just fill in bits. This nice colour. This. I think the brown paper sort of tones all of these darker colours down a bit. Told you a different way, otherwise they're all the same way. Right, I'm happy with those. Okay, so that's the first one done, and I really like. In fact, despite the fact that it's a bit of a pain to do, I still do like it because it's on the brown tape. So that's my first lot of tape. So this is masking tape and VersaFine ink. This is gummed paper tape, again with VersaFine ink. Okay, so that's the first one, and I am pleased with all of those. So I will tidy this up, set up, and I'll be back with the next technique. Okay, so the next one I'm going to try is double-sided tape, and I've been trying to work this out in my head, so I'm just going to have a play. I've got a whole load of bits of paper, Jamie's Originals, and I think the easiest way is to just stick the tape to the back and then cut it. So that's yeah, do you know that'd be quite nice. So that's a really simple way of doing it. I am leaving a gap because I want to be able to cut it. I'm tipping it, grip it just slightly long. Quite like this width of tape. So let's do that, but let's also put a thinner one on here as well. I think leaving the gap will allow me to get the scissors in well. Okay, this one is wanting to. These are so old, my goodness. The place I used to order them like this from no longer exists. So let's just see how easy it is to cut. Let's just cut the ends off because we don't want those. We don't want those. Right, that. Okay. Now, actually thinking about it, don't really even need to You know, I wonder if I could do it on my to get a straighter line because I've left gaps. Should be able to just cut in the gaps. I think. I mean, most of it will be stuck down. You could always put a little bit of glue under the edges if you're not liking it being. Yeah, no, you see that thing? It's just like, yeah, there you go. You just use that as a tape. Wow. Okay. So that will work for all of those, and that's fine. And I'm going to make a load more, but rather than sit here doing that on screen, so I'm quite happy with those. What else? The bigger pieces. I was going to try and collage. What did I do with? Oh, they're here. Let's try it with this. Which bit is sticky? That bit. So I'm just gonna, for the moment, not take all that off. But I'm going to use these, and these are just left from. I did a live on Janie's crafting page, and these were just bits left over from what I did. But I think I'm just going to try this. These are similar papers. Oh, okay. Right, so how am I gonna, what can I do to that? I'm gonna cut that wide enough, it's not. It's gonna cut a little strip. Let's fill that in. That's fine. Yeah, that I think would be the issue, is to make sure it's right up to the edges, and then we'll do that one on the end there. Like so. And just these scraps off. It's different from, if you're making a collage sort of masterboard type thing, because you can overlap them, but I don't think it will work quite so well on these to sort of overlap. So it's actually not as difficult as you think. Okay, so now I've got that, and I'm going to just cut. They can be wider, thinner. Get that one wide. So whoops, my thing just crashed. So yeah, so now we've got, it's the same always with double-sided tape, we've just been able to get that. There you go. We've now got a piece of tape. I can see that my thing's not cutting the sticky very well. Okay, so that's also going to work. So those are just one type of paper. Those are more of a collage type with bits of paper. Again, I'm going to have a play with this and see how I can do, bits at a time. We'll see with that one. I'll play with that later. So yeah, so basically you're sticking the double-sided on the back of the paper. Let's not get rid of those because I want those. Just trying to work out what's the tape and what's still my scraps. One thing I was going to try with this, and I've got plenty here to do. It's not Jamie's originals, but again, another thing I bought loads of for years. Are these really sort of translucenty uh decoupage papers? So I'm just wondering how they would hold up on something like this. So, oh, that's my watch telling me I'm not moving enough. Let's see what else I've got. I'm just literally gone in the top of my box, and I feel like if I overlap these, I can rip what hasn't stuck. Pink. Oh, that's pretty. That doesn't quite go. So I'm just going to rip a bit from the top up here. Oh, that didn't work very well. I should get my scissors and put that on there. Yeah. So I reckon, yes, well, this might rip. Yes, no, I'm not sure. Yeah, it was more these bits I was thinking. The bits that didn't stick, might just rip off. Oh, okay. We'll need to be a bit more careful with that. I'm just going to put a bit. I think that was that bit when I was trying to tear them. So maybe the tearing thing isn't quite what we want to do. Maybe cutting. You can see that all I've done is I've gone back with a bit of paper and stuck it where I'd ripped it off. So maybe I'd maybe say cutting would be better. And maybe not overlapping, although I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. I think these will make a much more washy style tape, as in, you know, that translucence that you get, excuse me, that you can't get with the paper. Now it does look at the moment very yellow because the actual backing is yellow. So let's see if we take this off. Oh yeah, you see that's not quite translucent, but oh, it is, yes. No, I like that. I think that is going to be for me a way of using up all of these. Look at them. Look at them. Bits of decoupage paper, because I used to put it on boxes and things, but you know, you kind of move on and start doing different things, but I'm always reluctant to get rid of too much because there's always this just in case. And I'm finding now with, you know, the past few years when I've been junk journaling, I'm suddenly finding uses for all these things. So this box is definitely going to be my new best friend in terms of creating my own tapes. We'll make some more of those. But I think it's also nice when you're using decorative papers in junk journals, if you can have something that matches. Please do excuse my nails, I've been doing a bit of gardening. So yeah, so okie dokie. Right, so that's that. I've tried. I will show at the end, you know, I'll come back and I'll show you all that I've done, because I feel I'm already been on there quite a while, and I don't want to, you know, keep you too long. The other one was that one that I saw on Inky Mia this morning. So I have a couple. I mean, I have lots of books, but I have a couple of these old uh, Encyclopedia Britannicas that I was been gifted, and So I think I'm going to use them on this. Now, basically, with the matte tape that she used, it's a lot more sticky. This is supposed to be a blank, oh my goodness, words have gone, sorry, a low tack tape. It's more than a low tack tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down over. But I found when I was trying this out, I find you've really, really, really got to buff it and get it stuck on. And then you end up with that. And I'm loving that. So this is an absolute, favorite. Um, and I would just use I would use Janie's Mac collage glue under that. Um, so yeah, I mean, loving it, particularly if you like these kinds of texty type. Oop, we'll go with that because that's where it's stuck. But I would say if you know the one she used, as I said, was Scotch matte tape. This is, as I said, this is supposed to be a low tack tape, but to me, it's too tacky. It's not, this is my low tack tape. I mean, let's have a try. Let's see if my low tack tape would do it as well. Let's might well do on a not well, yeah, no, it would. Yeah. But I don't want to waste my proper low tack tape. But this I've had just like, it's just been there and I thought, well, I don't really want to just bin it because you never know. And here we go. And here's your you never know when. It's now. Right, so what I'm going to do then is I am going to uh stop the actual video. I'm going to make a load more tape and then I will come back at the end and I will show you everything that I've done. But I've shown you all the techniques I'm going to use. Probably gone on for a bit too long, but thank you if you managed to make it this far. And I will show you, I'll be back in literally for you, now. But I'm off for a bit to make some more tape. Okay, so I have my tapes done. This one, so I've just got I've got a bit of pattern paper and a bit of vintage paper. I'm just going to take a small piece of the tape and show you on each. Oh, she says, that could be interesting. So that's got a bit stuck up together. It's going to take about half of that and cut it in half. So this is the masking tape with the stamping. I think you just need to be a little bit more careful than me. So you can see that works like a very, very thin washi. So more there. So you can still see underneath. So that's the masking tape, and I do like that one. That's one of my favourite. I do also like this one. It's a little bit more fiddly because of the fact that it's been rolled. But the thing about this, I don't know if I want to, but I will. It is gum tape, so just lick it on the back and it sticks. Okay. As I've got this in my hand, this is the one where you put it onto a vintage piece of vintage paper and pull the top off. Now this one, as you can see, you do need glue for. Okay, and I'm using, I don't know what I'm using, I think that's Janie's paper tape, paper bindery glue. Let's put a little bit on here as well. like so. Was that one. Then this is where I used double-sided. Some of it was double-sided tape. Some of it was double-sided paper, as in, you know, larger sheets. So these papers are Janie's original. She's got some great entomology type ones. So ugh, this is why I stopped using double-sided tape. But there's that one. Um, and then this is another, I think this is going to be another favourite of mine. This is the double-sided with the decoupage paper. And I'm hoping this is going to be a much more washy style. We'll see. As you can see through it, let's see. I suppose that one's quite a dark one. I might use another one and we'll see. It's quite a dark tape. Ooh. Oh, I'm going to do it because I want them, you know, to put both things on both kind of bits of paper. So let's put that one on there. But let's see if this one is a bit lighter. So again, double-sided. You see now that. No, maybe I can't see through it quite as much as I thought, but I have to say, I do like this the idea of using up all my decoupage papers on here. You can see through because I can see the ugh. Let's go with that bigger bit. I'm gonna, sorry, I'm one of those needing to be straight with in a minute. Come on. Come on. My fingers don't work as well as they used to. Let's see if you can see. Yes, you see, look, that using the ordinary papers on, you're not going to be able to get that transparency. But using your decoupage papers, you get a similar sort of transparency to a washi tape. So that is definitely going to be. I have to say, I think the masking tape, this tape, and the using the decoupage papers on the double-sided, I think they are going to be my go-tos going forward. So I've really enjoyed this challenge. I've learnt loads because I never really thought about making my own tapes before. So hopefully this will give you a few ideas, and a big thanks and shout out to Inky Mia and Hilltop View Journals for the challenges. I will be back probably in the next 3 days with the next of the challenges. I will see you then.